The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Well, hard to believe that today is the 22nd anniversary of 9/11. We got sports coming up in just about 4 minutes, but we are going to honor, obviously, every hour. And with a montage that I put together of just some of the sounds, I have fallen into every documentary, every piece of film that everybody did on that day. And my brother lived in New York, so it was very, very hard for me. And I remember those feelings come back when you hear this audio. Like 22 years sounds just ridiculous that it was that long. I mean, that long.
I seriously, it feels like it should be like maybe the 10-year anniversary or something like that. Like 22 years just seems so crazy. And if you're looking for something to watch on it, maybe you don't remember it or you want more details or whatever, one of the best things I've seen, because I've seen a lot too, is Turning Point on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen that docuseries.
I have not seen that.
I think they did a really great job just breaking down all the stages of that, the aftermath of it, and everything. It was that was an absolute phenomenal watch, an emotional watch.
It should be. I mean, I hate to say it, but it should be, because to remember what happened, and maybe you were too young and you really didn't get any kind of feel of what really it felt like, the power of that. But Brian and Kenzie here on Q101, we remember those lost.
We want to tell you what we know as we know it. We just got a report in that there's been some sort of explosion at the World Trade Center in New York.
American 11, are you trying to call?
Our number 1 has been stabbed and our 5 has been stabbed.
I have a situation with American 2 under possible hijack.
Oh my God.
United 175 New York. We have some problems over here right now. We might have a hijack over here too. Listen, on an airplane that's been hijacked, and things will go well. I'm good to go. I just want you to know it absolutely bug you.
Oh my God. So both towers are now.
Okay, I got an aircraft 6 miles east of the White House.
How to picture something that looks like a war zone, looked like an old war zone.
United 93, that traffic for you is 1 o'clock, 12 miles eastbound 370. Negative contact, we're looking, United 93.
I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I want to tell you I love you. Please tell my children that I love them very much. And I'm so sorry, babe. I hope to be able to see your face again, baby.
We will get through this, and we will continue to have a great and free country.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Should have had Boys the Men ready. I can't do it. I can't
Why,
even.
you don't like the song? What do you mean you can't do it?
I can't even get mad about the Bears anymore. I was so excited and enthusiastic about the post-Aaron Rodgers era for the last, I don't know how many months, whenever it was announced that he was going to the Jets. And they can finally, after 15-plus years, move on. And then before that, remember, it was Brett Favre, too. So you're talking about decades of dominance from Hall of Fame quarterbacks against the Bears at Soldier Field. It's finally over. Jordan Love? Whatever. Come here to Soldier Field. Finally, the Bears can plant their flag in Soldier Field, not in our house. That's not what happened. They got embarrassed again. They got owned again by a nobody. By a team. This is finally their chance to make a statement. This is maybe one of the most important games of Bears history, what happened yesterday. Without question, it defined the incompetence of the organization. And listen, I've given them tons of props. I think that Matt Eberflus, I was excited about him. I still am. And Ryan Poles, they fired people, put new people in. And you have to beat the Packers the first game after Aaron Rodgers is gone. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you do it. We don't have talent. We don't have an offensive line. We just don't have an offense. We're waiting. No, you have to beat them. And they didn't. And it was not only that, it was a slaughter. It was embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
Thank you, Kenzie. Thank you for jumping. I just thought I wasn't.
That's the new mascot this year.
I said I wasn't going to yell, but I can't help it. Everybody feels the same, I think. But now it's just apathy. It's apathy now. You got to show me something. I still stand by the record of 9-8 that I predicted.
Did you buy one of those word of the day calendars recently?
I didn't.
Because you've been getting a little weird today with that.
Because I struggled to come up with words to describe what has happened with the Bears and how frustrating it is. And I don't even know if I can watch any more games.
Well, you spent $400 on NFL Sunday Ticket. I would certainly hope you could watch more football this year.
That was for Megan. That wasn't for him.
That's right.
And you know what?
You guys are selfish.
By the fourth quarter, I said, Megan, put the Eagles on the big screen. I don't care
By
anymore.
the fourth quarter? They were losing in the first quarter.
Wait a damn minute. Wait. Pause it, Case. Put your brakes on. You're telling me her gift was the NFL ticket or whatever. What's it called?
Sunday ticket.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever your little edition package is. And that was her present.
Yeah.
And she was like watching it on like a little TV that people used to have in their kitchen where you had the nice one. What kind of crap ass gift?
It was a very nice iPad that I bought her that she watched the game. That was a Christmas gift last year with a nice screen. Those new iPads are great. And that's what she watched the Eagles on until I finally said, let's switch it out. Let's switch it out.
When the game was always fourth quarter. Thank you for letting her change the channel when it was done. You know what?
What?
We keep losing because you're a fan of the Bears. I want you out of our fan base.
I'm not even questioning you on that. That might be accurate.
You'd be a fan of something else.
I don't know. If I could root for something else, I would. If I could go another way, and I don't know, maybe I should, because the misery. First off, Harper did have music classes and delayed me getting home in time. I did get there in time for kickoff, and she cried during music class. So, like, that wasn't necessarily completely enjoyable. And then I go, okay, at least I'll get the Bears game. They're going to slaughter the Packers. Or at least, I said 24-20, they beat the Packers. I don't know what to say anymore.
Did you put money on that?
I did. On my boys' DraftKings, which you should still bet on games, just not Bears games anymore, I guess.
I cleaned up this weekend. I had a good weekend.
Did you bet against the Packers or the Bears?
I did.
See? Listen.
Case. You can't do that.
Honestly.
Because then you're putting your juju towards hoping you win money.
I know,
you
but
can't do that.
I'm loyal to Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and the faces on money. That's where my loyalty lies.
Holy crap.
And I need to have a good feeling about this Bear season. What I'm curious is, Brian, going forward, for everybody else that is joining in our misery as we sit in this room, do you think this was a case of the Packers being really good, or is it our worst fear that the Bears are once again really bad?
The Bears are once again really bad.
Okay, listen.
They are. Listen.
They only had one game.
Okay. Kenzie, go ahead.
Listen,
Kenzie, do it for me. Bring me up.
If Harper sucked at one swimming lesson, does that mean she's not going to be able to swim? No.
I haven't seen her swim. I haven't seen her swim by herself yet. I had to help her.
At least once a week you do a bad show, but I think overall our shows are pretty good.
All right.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You know, everyone drops the ball.
Uh-huh.
So theirs is a little more literal. There's a couple
interceptions.
couple
and
interceptions.
Offensive line wasn't helping.
You know, it's unfortunate that they work at a career where dropping the ball is so you can really see it.
The
It's
defense,
really televised.
The defense also couldn't get to a nobody.
That does not mean, we're shaking it up. I understand that they don't have the same wiggle room as baseball because there's 162 games in baseball and 17 NFL games. I understand there's not the same wiggle room, but we sucked for a little bit as the Cubs, and we may go to the playoffs. So there's everyone just stretch out a little, get used to it.
If I was a Cubs fan, I'd be sweating bullets because Brian cheers for them too. This is all his fault.
Well, they did lose 2 or 3 over the weekend.
3 or 4.
Or 3 or 4, yeah.
Hey. We're still up for the wild card. Shut the hell up.
Still in the wild card run.
Yeah,
still in
baby.
three games on the Brewers. But I don't know. You guys tell me at 312-591-8300. Tell us how you're feeling, but also what are you going to do the rest of the year now? I mean, I get it. I still think they're going to go 9-8. I still think they're going to do that.
They just have a bad football team.
This was just one of the wins. I had this one as a win. But so they'll have to pick up a win somewhere else.
We're still on pace for 9-8 if you think about it.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Well, a lot of Bears fans checking in and asking me that I should extend Harper's music class the entire day on Sunday. It's just a class for 40 minutes.
Someone said just send her to music camp, so you don't have to be there at all.
I might do that. I don't know. But either way, how about this one? 313 checked in. Now, look at it this way. At least the Bears aren't the Giants. That's what we're doing right now because the Giants got just annihilated last night in Sunday Night Football. Embarrassing. But the embarrassing part is that the Packers, I can't get into it again. I can't do it right now. We'll do it again a little later.
Just settle down.
Let's have a game that's fair and balanced and exciting and fun. That is Clash with Kenzie. So 312.
Oh, yeah, because that usually goes way better than the Bears game.
312-591-8300. Call right now to compete against Kenzie in a trivia contest. Do that right now.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin. Q101.
Let's go. A Brian and Krenzy Q101 Pride. Krenzy.
Like a kraken?
is on the line if you beat Kenzie in trivia. And we've got AJ in Indiana competing. Ahoy, AJ. How was your weekend? Everything good?
Ahoy, yeah, it was good. It's good. It's raining now. Too bad, but yeah, it's going good.
Well, what was your highlight of your weekend? What'd you do?
I have a 3-month-old new daughter, so my wife and I just kind of hung around, stayed with her, and yeah, just did some family time. So that was the best.
So cute.
So cute. Yeah, just kind of look at the baby and go, we can still drink beer, right? I mean, the baby's sitting there all fine and little swing there or whatever, right?
Yeah, and just watch the Bears lose. So yeah, that was about it. So.
Yeah, thank God for those families. Gives us something to live for watching that game.
And what do you do for a living?
Right. I'm a school social worker.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thanks for helping.
You want to shout out your school or no, in case you lose?
You know what? In case I lose, I'll save them from the embarrassment. So I'll shout out the Southwest suburbs. That's where I work.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, here we go. First one to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same with you. Call heads or tails on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Call it.
Heads.
Oh, you just dropped it again. What is it?
It kind of went double. I think it was tails, but now it's heads because I dropped it. He goes
Screw
first.
you, Brian.
Oh, sorry,
That's
buddy.
convenient.
That's kind of convenient. All right, man, you're going first, okay?
All right, cool.
Okay, AJ. Which Greek mythology character would turn you into stone simply by looking at them?
Sodoman.
Shodaman? No, it's not Shodaman.
Sodoman. But
Sodoman. I don't know. I don't know who Shodaman or Sodoman is.
Anywho, it is definitely Medusa.
Yeah.
It was her punishment for men thinking she was attractive. I love Greek mythology.
Wait, what's the deal on that?
It's actually heinous. She got punished with the snakes in her head and turning men to stone after she was like viciously attacked by men.
Oh.
But then, yeah, it was kind of like she got punished, which is like, really? Okay.
I don't understand Greek mythology. I never know what's real and what's not.
I love Greek mythology. Well, it's all mythology.
I mean, it's
so
mythology.
But we treat them
like it's real?
Yeah. Where do the stories come from? I don't get it.
So where do they take place in the Bible?
We're not going to start the dinosaurs Bible Greek mythology timeline right now.
Okay. Anywho, we're only one question in.
I was just curious because that was also in White Lotus, the Medusa thing and the theme of the show. So
Medusa's pretty badass.
Pretty creepy. All right, we know more about Medusa.
There you go. 1-0 back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, who is the current starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers?
Jordan Love.
Oh, God.
I do not love.
No one does.
Ironically.
I can't believe he walked into our house. Sorry, I can't go on.
Okay, we're only 2 questions in. 2-0 back to AJ.
AJ, what do plants produce through photosynthesis?
What do clams produce, you said?
Plants.
That's awesome.
What do plants produce through photosynthesis?
Food.
2. They don't produce food. Kenzie?
It's oxygen.
It is oxygen. Exactly. Whoa. All right. You okay, AJ?
No, I'm good.
Good thing you didn't mention your school.
How embarrassing.
Yeah, I know. That's right.
Southwest Burbs. Whoop, whoop. Is it back to Kenzie?
It's back to Kenzie. She's up 3-0.
Oh, boy. Kenzie, what is the only continent without any bees?
I'm going to swing for the fences and go cold and say Antarctica.
Yeah, that's right.
Why didn't you say anything?
I wanted to come up with something better to kind of distract the situation. It's just 4-0 now.
You wanted to be witty and couldn't be?
I know.
I was really hoping I could be funny there.
You swung for the fences. Brian had the bat on his shoulders going, think of something.
Bears player over there.
One day a week, I don't do well.
I told you.
This might be it. Let's see. This is to AJ?
This is to AJ.
AJ, which reality star became known for their "That's hot" catchphrase on The Simple Life? 3.
Oh, man.
2.
Paris Hilton.
Oh, got it right before the buzzer. Wow.
Hey.
Come on, you have to have some education. That's what I'm talking about. Way to pull through.
AJ is on the board. He's got 1. Kenzie's got 4. She can win it with a correct answer.
Kenzie, what surface are Wimbledon tennis matches played on?
A tennis court.
It's not a tennis court.
They don't play on a tennis court?
Well, it's the surface. See what surface is. Maybe AJ
Kinda
can answer.
confusing.
AJ?
Grass?
It's grass. They play on grass.
Court.
No, the court is like concrete, and this is grass.
So they play on a tennis court. Just say yes or no. Do they?
They play on a grass tennis facility.
Court.
All right, who are we going to here?
It's AJ's turn. He has 2. Kenzie has 4. So come back for AJ.
AJ, who did Barack Obama defeat in the 2008 presidential election?
John McCain.
John McCain. Oh, comeback season a little bit here. Kenzie, what store would you find the Kirkland branded products at?
Costco.
Oh,
Really excited after we get the John McCain question, though.
doesn't hurt that I'm wearing a Kirkland sweatshirt right now. That's not
You know
true.
what?
I'm not.
I feel bad, though, because he already had to deal with the loss of the Bears, so I feel like we should give him a prize pack.
Well, we give away. Losers don't lose anymore on this show.
Everybody gets a trophy, bro.
Damn, 2023. We'll give you a prize pack, okay, man? Because you're doing good work out there with the kids.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate you, man, for doing all the good work out there.
The Q101 Morning Crew's Clash with Kenzie.
On Q101.
And remember, coming up at 8 a.m. for everybody, Riot Fest, 3-day passes. It's Riot Fest week, 8 a.m. with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And as we said, remember, 20 minutes away from 8 a.m. and more Riot Fest tickets for you. It's Riot Fest week, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all day, you'll see Q101 everywhere on site. We want to say hi to you. And we're going to go for it because what a lineup. Foo Fighters on Friday. Of course, Death Cab for Cutie. And Postal Service and Queens of the Stone Age Saturday, Mars Volta and The Cure on Sunday, plus 90 other bands. It's going to be incredible for the entire event, so you should be there. Now, today is the 22nd anniversary of 9/11. This is wild. Out of New York, the mayor announced, and the medical examiner in New York, that 2 new identifications of victims from September 11th attacks at the World Trade Center in 2001 have been identified. They're not giving the names out. I mean, the families, they're going to tell the families, obviously. They know by now. So it's the 1,648th and 49th person to be identified, meaning to identify the remains, there's still a long way to go. There's still over 1,000 to identify from that horrific.
That's insane to think about.
Horrific.
It really is.
Isn't it amazing that's 22 years later and they're still digging through stuff to find
and
DNA?
families still waiting for closure?
Oh, I'll never forget all the video and audio. And this is something I know everybody's, you're like us, you're thinking back. And I was talking with Case, the producer, beforehand, like at 4 a.m. about this a little bit. And it finally feels in a weird way that 9/11 is now history, if this makes sense, because it used to be that common experience that people could talk about almost at anywhere in a bar. You start drinking, you're watching the Bears game, let's say, and just a conversation goes one way, and you say, like, well, I remember on 9/11, I remember it like this because I was here, or I was doing this blank. And I feel like the pandemic has not erased that feeling, but now the pandemic becomes that shared experience because it's so recent. And now going back 22 years, which I can't believe, I actually realize now there's people that were barely born, like Case, the producer, who was 24, when it happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's adults who don't remember it now, right?
There's even adults that don't remember, right?
You were used to kids not knowing, but it's weird that those kids are now adults that don't remember, and that's because it's such a swing because I'm 28. I'm not, like super old or anything. He's only 24, but I vividly remember it.
That's wild that you do that young.
Oh, yeah, because we got, see, what grade would I have? I don't know.
Probably first grade or kindergarten?
Somewhere in that zone.
Yeah.
And I got pulled. We all got dismissed from school.
Really?
And it was very confusing at that age. You're just like, well, we're in the middle of school. But nobody would really say anything because I think that teachers were concerned with our age group about like overshare. They didn't know how parents wanted to handle it, right?
Yeah.
So it was very somber and secretive, and you didn't really understand what was going on. And then I just remember my mom bawling and picking me up from school. And I'm like, what is going on? Because that's also weird. Think about a tragedy where I'm like, how come everyone's sad? Like,
that's a good point.
How, as a little kid, it's like, if something happened to us, but it happened to the whole school, like, that's weird, right? And I remember going home and how upset my family was because I was by far the youngest in my family, and it just being on the TV and a million phone calls because my dad was out of town, like all this going on, and you almost didn't know if you were in trouble because your parents weren't talking to you. So you're like, did I do something? It was just really somber, and I just kept watching it over and over again on the TV. And I was like kindergarten or first grade. And I don't remember that aspect. I just remember I remember the school I left.
Yeah.
And it's like I still remember that day vividly, even from that age, just watching those buildings, watching my whole family cry and just being like, oh my gosh, like something really, really bad happened, and it happened to everybody. And that was that first experience, something like that.
No one's excluded. Yeah, I mean, we're 3 minutes away from the 22nd anniversary of the first plane. And, I had a similar yet also hysterical experience because I was working here at Q101. I was sludge back then, but I had taken vacation. So I was home with my family, my dad in Ohio. And, the stuff started happening. And just like everybody, it's like, well, some small plane hit the tower. That's horrible. But it's, then you get on with your life. And we were driving somewhere. And then all of a sudden we heard on the radio that the second plane, it's a terrorist attack. And my dad flipped a Huey because my brother lives in New York. My brother Darren lives in New York. So my dad flipped the Huey and a cop chased after us to pull us over. And the cop pulled us over, had his ticket book out. My dad just said, almost shaking, I have a son in New York. And the cop said, go, get out, go. And he just didn't give my dad a ticket. He said, get out of here, go do what you got to do. And I get home and my mom is hysterically crying. We can't get a hold of Darren because at that time, cell phone service didn't work that well. And especially in New York, it all went out because when the tower went down, a lot of the cell towers were on the building. And could not get a hold of him for about 40 minutes. And then we finally did, and everybody started crying and going nuts. And he was about 20 blocks, in that range where he worked from the towers. And you didn't, when you saw that going on, you thought a nuclear bomb went off when they went down. It wasn't just like buildings, coming down. You thought the whole city was gone.
Well, and that's what I think that people who are younger or can't remember all that. It's like, it took a little bit to even try to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
There was a lot of rumors, which amped stuff up, even more so because there was just rumors of everyone's planes. I mean, imagine being at like the airport that day.
Oh.
I mean, imagine that feeling. I
knew a girl that was a stewardess 9/11 coming back overseas, and she said that they diverted the flight to Atlanta, and they were looking down, and they tried not to get people to look down, and you could see the smoke on it when they went over New York, and then they turned and went to Atlanta. They could see it. Everybody's got a feeling. Of course, in Chicago, I mean, Q101, the old days of the Merchandise Mart, that outside there's a Stay in the Stone there. It says the World Trade Center, and people thought there was one coming from the Hancock Building and the Sears Tower. And I remember they cleared downtown. The cops were on horses because I had buddies there that were telling me what was going on as I was out of town. That they cleared everybody out. They pushed them on the metro trains, get out of the city, and it was like The Walking Dead. There was no one downtown that whole morning. It's wild. There's so many stories, and I know everybody, you're thinking about this, and we are thinking about, of course, the first responders and families that knew somebody. My brother knows two people. He lost two friends in 9/11 because he's in the New York area.
He's in the New York area.
Yeah. And so we remember 9/11, and, of course, with the firemen and the policemen brothers here in Chicago that, obviously went on to help a lot of them went there to help in the search and rescue. We remember 9/11 and everybody that was affected.
We want to tell you what we know as we know it. We just got a report in that there's been some sort of explosion at the World Trade Center in New York.
American 11, are you trying to call?
Our number 1 is in staff, and our 5 is in staff.
I am in a situation with American 11, a possible hijack.
Oh my God.
United 175, New York. We have some problems over here right now. We might have a hijack over here, too. Listen, on an airplane that's been hijacked. If things don't go well, it's not looking good. I just want you to know, I absolutely love you.
Oh my God. So both towers are now.
Okay, I got an aircraft 6 miles east of the White House.
Not a picture, something that looks like a war zone, looked like an old war zone.
United 93, that traffic for you is 1 o'clock, 12 miles eastbound 370. Negative contact, we're looking, United 93.
I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I want to tell you I love you. Please tell my children that I love them very much. And I'm so sorry, babe. I hope to be able to see your face again, baby.
We will get through this, and we will continue to have a great and free country.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.